Okay, friends. So while I'm admitting a couple people, if you are new to this, and we are really excited you're here to join us for our Healthy Moms Equal Healthy Families event. And so a couple of housekeeping things. If you are home with your healthy family, sometimes there can be a lot of sound around you. So you may want to mute, but feel free to unmute at any time to ask a question. But I also encourage you to go ahead and utilize that chat box in case somebody is maybe in the middle of sharing a thought and you want to ask a question, but it's not a good time to interrupt. Type it into that chat box and we'll do our best to answer it as the time goes on. And so actually right now, if you can, I would love for you to go ahead and type in that chat box, who you are and tell us who invited you, because we love to reward people who invite others to the group. And so, so please do tell us who invited you. And Chelsea, it looks like you're raising your hand, but maybe not now. Okay, cool. Excellent, excellent. Okay, friends. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen with you, and we will get started with our presentation. We're glad you're here, but I'd love to hear where some of you are from. So feel free to type in that chat box. I mean it. Use that chat box, and we want to hear where you're from and who invited you. Because like I said, we like to reward people that invite others to this group. And so actually, I'll start with that too, that every Thursday we have an event like this. Either it's in the afternoon or it's in the evening. And so we're going to be repeating this Healthy Moms Equals Healthy Families event all through the month of March. And so if you're listening today and you think of someone that could really be impacted by this information, please do share it with them, invite it to them. We also are recording it to share if people can't be here on Thursdays, but it's really nice if you could be here live because you can ask questions and we can get to know you and things like that. But we love to reward people that invite others to this information because it has changed our lives, and that's why we share it. And so, anyways, there's some of the dates up there for you to see. And I'll start out by telling you a little bit about myself. And then I'm going to tell you how Healthy Moms really does equal healthy families. And I'm going to give you some simple steps on what has made the difference for all of us. And you're going to hear some stories from people on our team sharing the same information. So my name is Alyssa Umdahl, if we haven't met before. I live in Wisconsin. And here's a picture of me from before kids and after kids. And I'm one of those rare people that can say that I actually got healthier after having kids than I was before. I was a full-time teacher. I loved what I did, but I was tired all the time. Every morning I woke up swearing I would go to bed earlier that night. And even if I did, I was still just tired all the time. But then when I became a mom, I cared more about my health. And so all of my health journey has all been done through small steps. And it started for me with watching food documentaries. And I just learned about what we can eat and how it would change our lives. And that led me to trying new recipes, which led to better health for all of us. And then after that, hold on, I got to admit somebody. I'm admitting you all. After that, after my interest in health grew, then it led to a new business, which is this business that I've been doing now for almost 10 years, Shackley. And it was because I had an interest in these products and I was raised on these products. So I knew that they were excellent. And it just made sense to do it as a business and share it with others and be able to create some income for my family and be able to buy the products from ourselves. And because of that, we've been able to buy so many products from ourselves, which means that my 4 kids are rarely sick because they get as many of these products as they need. Plus, like I said, they're eating pretty healthy because of the small steps that we've learned to do to keep them healthy. So that's just a little bit of my story. And you're going to hear some stories from other people on our team about how the small steps in their lives as a mom really has led to their entire family being healthier. So I'm going to advance the slide here if it works, or maybe not. Maybe not, who knows? But what I want to share with you next is how the mom's choice really does influence the whole family. And so there we go. All right. So it really is true that moms are the top wellness influencers in their family. There's a lot of articles and studies that show this, and there's multiple reasons for it. I'm just going to share 3 with you. But the biggest one I see is that moms are often the main cook or the main shopper in their family, right? Comment in the chat box if you are the main cook or the main shopper for your family. And so because you're making these decisions for the family, it means that the decisions you make influence your spouse, if you have one, your children, and everybody else in between, right? So that means, of course, the food element, of course. You've probably learned over the years how to maybe swap out this snack with that snack. And there's always room for improvement, right? We live a very real life over here, and we do love chips, but my kids also get a lot of veggies every day because we've learned the power of vegetables, right? And so just those little switches have really helped the whole family to live a healthier life. But you know what? It's not just about food. It's also some of the things that we're buying, which we won't really get into as much in this presentation, but the chemicals that we're using in our house, there's a lot of household chemicals and cleaners that are tied with childhood asthma. And so there's decisions we got to make as moms about that. There have been some kids shampoos, sadly, that have ingredients that have been linked to causing cancer. So we have to make decisions about that. And then as moms, we're often making the medical decisions about, is my child going to get medicine, or what medicines do we choose? What vaccines are we choosing? And what supplements are we choosing? And I mean, there are so many things, but I'm not telling you all this to overwhelm you. You already know this, right? So instead of focusing on all those things, we're going to focus on just some small things that you can do. You can switch even today. And over time, you can just continue to take those small steps to influence your whole family in a healthier way. Here's another way that mom's choices influence the whole family. There was a 2014 study that said that measured kids that were in the preschool range and their mothers. And they found that usually the amount of steps that mom was getting every day often matched the amount of activity that preschooler was getting every day. So if the mom didn't get a lot of activity, the child didn't get it. If the mom got a lot of activity, the child got it. And they found that often those habits that kids are starting at that early age carry on for the rest of their life. And so our kids are watching us all the time, but often, I don't know about you, we choose activities on the weekend to do with our kids that we want to do, right? So we are not watching Paw Patrol with our kids. That's a weekday activity for them when I'm trying to get stuff done. But on the weekends, if I'm spending time with them, we're doing what I want to do. And so our family enjoys bike riding. My husband and I enjoy it. And you can see from this picture that certain times, some of our kids enjoy it more than others. But for the most part, they do like to bike ride. And one cool thing that happened just this past year is my mother-in-law, who's pictured there, she saw how much we did biking as a family. And she said, I think I'd like to get a bike. And so my husband and his brothers put some money together for Mother's Day, and they gave her a bike. And so it's amazing how we can really influence others by the choices that we make. And so now grandma even goes for bike rides with us sometimes. It's really cool. All right. And here's one more way that mom's choices can influence the whole family. And really, this is for moms and dads. Healthy parents are better able to serve their families. I don't know if you've ever been on an airplane before and you've heard the flight attendant say, if you're sitting with a young child, make sure you put your own oxygen mask on first before you assist the child next to you. And I don't know about you, but I've personally thought, there's no way I would do that. I'm helping my kid first. My kiddos are here, right? But have you ever thought about how really that could play out? If you're in a situation where people aren't getting oxygen, if you help your child first and you don't get oxygen, what ends up happening to you in the long run? And will that help your child in the long run if you are hurt in some way, right? So many times for us as moms, we are sacrificing our health. And there's definitely ways that we sacrifice as moms, of course. But we sacrifice so much that we end up not being a healthy enough parent to be able to go the long distance with our kids. And so if we really do take care of our health, we are going to have more energy and be better able to serve our families and serve all the other places that we're serving too, right? So I'm going to give you some simple ways that have changed things for us. And that's the thing about Shaklee. Shaklee helps parents take small steps toward better health. And the reason they're able to do this is because Shaklee's been around in one way or another for about 100 years. This guy that you see pictured here, his name is Dr. Shaklee. He was a chiropractor, and he believed that people should be living in harmony with nature. And he also realized how impossible it was for us to eat all the fruits and vegetables that we need every day. And so because of that, he invented the world's first supplement, and he sold it out of his chiropractic office back in 1915. And one thing led to another, and he was selling quite a lot of these out of his office. And one day when he was about to retire, his kids said, "Dad, what are you going to do to make sure people are still getting your supplements after you retire?" And so in 1956, he started the Shaklee Company, and he empowered people like me who truly believe in the products to be able to share them casually or share them as a business and be able to be rewarded for sharing products that we truly believe in and helping people along the way know how to use them and how to take small steps toward a healthier life. And the guy you see pictured there is Roger Barnett. He bought the company within the last 20 years almost now. And because of him, the company is doubled the sales it did in the first 50 years of business because of him. So he's a very smart businessman. We are very grateful for Roger. And because of him, our company just continues to grow. Well, like I said, they've been around in one way or another for 100 years. So that picture that you see there is Dr. Shaklee's first vitamin. It was a liquid. He also invented the world's first plant-based protein. Like everything that Dr. Shaklee invented did not come out of a fad or like what's going to sell. It came out of conviction of what do people need. And so he also invented the world's first biodegradable cleaner. And you can see that picture there under 1960. And so then the Shaklee Company of today really holds to that same philosophy. They make products not based on fads, but based on science and based on what people need. And so you can see that they've expanded from just supplements and protein and even cleaners to skincare and weight loss and just a wide variety of health-related products. Well, we're not going to talk about all those today. They have over 300 products, but we're just going to focus on some of our favorites. So, but I want to tell you one thing about the science behind Shaklee and really how they've proved how well they work. There was a test that they did on people using Shaklee products for 20 years or more, next to people using nothing at all versus people using supplements of different brands. And you can see there, based on this picture, and you can read the report online. It's not as pretty as this picture, which is why I show you this picture. The people in the Shaklee group rated their health better, took little to no medication, had a lower risk of dementia, but their cardiovascular health, their metabolism, their C-reactive protein, these numbers were unbelievable. And these people were actually on average older than the people in the other two groups using different products or nothing at all. And so it really speaks to the power of quality supplements. And so actually, I'm going to turn it over to Sarah because she can share with you a little bit of her story and really what makes Shaklee different from other products out there. So Sarah, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Sounds good.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Alyssa. My Shaklee journey started with the cleaners actually, because I called Alyssa after I had lived overseas and I said I couldn't bring any cleaners home because they're all toxic and flammable and they wouldn't let me pack them in our household goods when we moved back from Belgium. And so I needed something to clean my disgusting bathtub with. And so Alyssa gave me a cleaner and I realized that I had been trying different cleaners that were like natural, but they didn't really work. And this was a natural cleaner that actually worked, and it smelled good, and it wasn't toxic. It didn't have any harsh fumes that were going to bother my 1-year-old daughter at the time. So as I learned more about Shaklee, I learned that the purity of the product is important, but so is the potency. So they're not doing something that's pure and then sacrificing the fact that it would work. So it still works, and it's pure and free from these harmful chemicals. Soon after that, I got pregnant again. And my first pregnancy had been a little bit rough. I had had a lot of digestive issues and circulation issues. And so I decided to try Shaklee vitamins for that second pregnancy. And I noticed such a big difference in how I felt during the pregnancy. My digestive issues were completely non-existent. I had much better circulation, not as much like the swelling of the veins and things like that that are common during pregnancy. And so I started to look into why were these vitamins working when I was taking prenatal vitamins my first pregnancy, and those didn't seem to have the same effect. And that's when I discovered some of the things that Alyssa mentioned about the landmark study. And specifically, what I wanted to point out to you is the 100,000 quality tests performed each year. to me, that speaks a lot to the fact that Shaklee's committed to having pure products that work. And not only do they test the ingredients before they go into the product, they also test the final product to make sure that nothing harmful has gotten into the supplement on its way through the manufacturing process. So I just became very impressed with the research and the science and the dedication that Shaklee had to having pure ingredients in their products. Oh, Alyssa, you're muted. Are you talking?
There we go. I'll unmute myself. Thanks for sharing, Sarah. That's great. And so you can see really it's about the testing and the ingredients that go into it. And unfortunately, there's a lot of tests out there that talk about how the supplement industry just really isn't regulated by the FDA. And so most supplements that are out there don't have inside the bottle what is written on the outside of the bottle. And so knowing that you're working with a company that you can trust for a vitamin that you're putting in your body that you want to improve your health is really important to me. And so they have a lot of other products. Like I said, we're not going to get too much into those today, but if that's something that interests you, talk to the person who invited you, because they have these same standards for everything they do. They have those same standards for their skincare. They have multiple ingredients that they refuse to use, and it still works better than the toxic stuff out there. Weight loss products as well, and cleaners, as Sarah mentioned. Something else I should mention is that they have these clinical results that prove how well their products work. And because of that, Shaklee has a money back guarantee. So that means if you decide to try the Prove It Challenge and maybe it's just not a good fit for you or whatever, it doesn't do what you hope it would do. I've yet to have anybody return a Prove It Challenge, but there's a first time for everything. You can get your money back for it and try the whole thing. And if you don't feel amazing, you can get your money back, which is really cool. And that's true for all of their products. So yeah, I think that's really amazing if a company is willing to offer that. So where do we start when it comes to products? And so, like I mentioned, the Prove It Challenge is really the best place to start because it gives you a general idea of our best products. It's a nice little sampling of them, as well as you get all these really great deals with it. And I love a great deal. And so we love to start people here because you get so many freebies with it. And so there's a couple different ways you can go with a Prove It Challenge, but the generals of it are you're getting a daily vitamin strip and you're getting a daily protein shake. And there's a couple different kinds of vitamin strips you can get. You can take a personalized health quiz. If you haven't taken that yet, I encourage you to do it. And you can get it personalized for you. It has your name on it. It's really cute. Or we have our other strip that is also very good. And both of them you can get for $159. And it comes with free shipping, a free product, as well as a 15% discount on all your future purchases and this purchase. And we also have some other great deals I'll tell you about at the end of the thing. And so it's about $5 a day. So I've been doing the Prove It Challenge for a very long time. Let me tell you what it looks like. So our supplements, Sarah mentioned that the ingredients are tested. So you get quality ingredients, but it's not just that. There's also science to make sure that they are dissolving in the right place at the right time inside of your body. And so this is a quick sampling of what's in one of our strips. This is my favorite to show people because it shows that the multivitamin is dissolving in your stomach, whereas the B and C vitamin, the yellow one you see there, it's a slow dissolve. It's in your body for 12 hours so that you're absorbing a little bit of vitamin C over the course of 12 hours because our body can only absorb so much vitamin C. Same thing with B vitamins. There's also a fish oil, carotenoids, vitamin E. That one dissolves further down. And then that tiny little probiotic you see there at the lowest part of the intestine. I love this product because it's so tiny. I sneak it into my kids' oatmeal. And it has a triple coating on it because Shaklee scientists realized most probiotics, like that you're getting in yogurt and things like that, they're good, but they're dissolving in the harshness of stomach acid. And so Shaklee scientists put a triple coating on this tiny little probiotic so that the first coating dissolves in your stomach, second in your upper intestine, and then the third in the lowest intestine, which is where your 80% of your immune system is. And those good germs are that you want your probiotics to get to. And so That's an incredible product. And this is just a sampling of what all of their supplements are like. They are going to the right place of your body at the right time. And when people use it, I have people that tell me, I cannot believe how much more energy I have. I can't believe how much better I'm sleeping. I can't believe how my hormones have kind of regulated. Like I got all kinds of things I didn't realize that I needed because of this vitamin strip. And the daily protein shake is the same thing. Now, you might think of protein shakes as for weightlifters or people trying to lose weight, but the average American diet really just doesn't get enough protein. And so I love that this is a simple, easy meal. I tend to have it every morning. It's got 20 grams of protein in it. It's non-GMO. It is gluten-free. It's dairy-free, and it tastes good. And so I love the Life Shake, and my kids love it too. My kids have it every morning too, because they are bottomless pits. They would love to eat tons of cereal in the morning full of sugar, or they can have a little bit of cereal and a Life Shake that fills them up, and that makes everybody happy. So I want to turn it over to Patti for a minute here so she can tell you a little bit of her story, because she's been using that strip and the shake for quite some time, and it's really influenced her kids. So Patti, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, great. Go ahead, friend.
So my Shaklee story started around 2017, even before I was using Shaklee supplements. I was at that point probably the fittest I had been, but actually the sickest I had been, which sounds kind of strange. But physically, I was like feeling amazing, but inside my body was suffering. I had bronchitis for the first time I ever had in my life, and I had it recurring. I would take an antibiotic, I would take prednisone, and it would get better. And 3 weeks later, I'd be sick again. And I got tired and weary of being tired and sick. So I approached one of my friends who was doing Shaklee and said, "Hey, can you tell me about this?" So I sat down with her. She told me about the Shaklee story, and I was a little skeptical. So it probably took me about 6 months to start using the product. And once I did, I started actually just first with the Vitalizer strip and some of the performance line products, which is our fitness line, just because that's where I was at the time. But probably within, I'd say the 60 days of starting on the Vitalizer strip, I felt enormously better. I would go to the doctor for years and complain about being tired, and they never could find anything. It was just like living a life of being fatigued, not wanting to play with my kids, not wanting to, walk the dog, not wanting to really live my life. And I was tired of that. My kids were getting bigger. I had missed I felt like I had missed a big part of their younger life, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So having that energy was huge. I used to probably sleep 9 to 10 hours a night. Now I sleep maybe 7, and I feel refreshed and ready to go in the day. And I use the strip and shake every day. And as a mom of teenagers, I can tell you, for those of you who have littles, I think your kids watch you more than they listen to you. So my kids actually, I have watched them over the last couple of years, just I think really seeing me and seeing what I consider to be, really good nutrition and taking my supplements and exercising and moving my body. My kids are starting to do those things on their own. So those pictures there, one is my son weightlifting, the other is my daughter downstairs doing a cardio workout. Both of them down there by themselves. I happen to sneak down and take pictures of them because we need those things, right? And so, as our kids grow up, their autonomy changes. They start to rely on themselves. They don't rely on you. They don't really listen to you much anymore, because what does mom know? They're in high school, so what do I know? But I do think that them seeing me take the strip, seeing me have a shake every single day has made a huge difference, because they see the energy I have that I didn't have when they were little. They see me just being physically active. Both of my kids now every day have a shake for breakfast. I make it for them. They carry it out the door with them. And even on vacation, I take stuff for it. We were just gone for a few days. And I thought, my son will probably eat the junk we have, right? Because we're on vacation, so they get things they don't get normally. And my son said, "Hey, Mom, can you make me a shake?" So that's huge to me. And I just watched them change and grow and see them making better choices. And I think that's because they see me doing those things, and their dad for that matter. So the strip and shake has been absolutely life-changing. The energy I have from it, the clarity, so many things. Better gut health, like too many things really to answer, to tell you about. But yeah, I really do believe that when mom does it, their children follow. So they really pay attention to what we're doing.
That is a powerful story. And especially with you, with teenagers. Thanks for sharing that, Patty. And I know you've been on a trajectory of health in so many ways.
Mhm.
But how cool that your kids are starting to say, I feel better when I eat better versus you saying, you better eat that stuff.
That's
So,
exactly right. And my
yeah.
kids both said that coming home from vacation. They were like, Mom, we ate junk. We need to eat better now. So yeah, I
Wow.
think helping our kids see what good health feels like changes their life forever.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Well, thanks for sharing, friend. So, well, we're going to wrap up, but I'll remind you again, the best place to start really is that Prove It challenge. And so you could do the personalized vitamins, or you could do the Vitalizer strip. Talk to the person who invited you on maybe what would be the best fit for you. But either way, it's $159 and you get all the freebies with it. But since we're talking about kids, I did want to mention that we have some kid-specific products. Now, a lot of these products, they can be used. You heard how our kids are getting the Life Shake. My kids are getting the probiotics. A lot of these can be used with your children and adults the same, but they do have kids-specific products. So talk to the person who invited you. Here's a picture of some of my favorites. We've got chewable multivitamins. We've got gummies because kids love gummies and those are better for immunity. And we also have some DHA, omega, great for the brain chews that my kids love. So talk to the person who invited you if you want to hear more details about that. The last thing I want to share is that our Shackley side hustles really have helped us take bigger steps toward health for everyone. And so you've heard some great stories here today from these ladies, and these are some of the people of our team. And it's because we buy these products from ourselves, and we buy them with a discount. Sometimes we get them for free, and a little bit both. And so I will just mention that there is real income with this business as well. If you want to work it like a business, you can see that people at the very first rank are making an average of $800 a month. That's pretty awesome. But you know what? Even if you just want to do it casually, there are so many great casual benefits with the discounted and free products. You've got this supportive community that you see here, and then you get paid to refer people to the person who's shared this with you. And you don't have to work it like a business if you just want to refer people and get paid as you refer people. So talk to the person who invited you. We can tell you more, but I mean, I love to be able to buy these products from myself. Okay, so why Shackley? Why now? It's a 65-year-old company. They've paid out $9 billion to distributors. And really, there's more interest today in prevention and healthy living than ever before. So if you're thinking about the side business, it's not a bad idea. Working from home is really attractive right now. But as far as products go, they're science-based products with clinical trials and patents. I didn't even mention that there are top world athletes. NASA has approached Shackley and asked them to make products for them. Many Olympians use Shackley. It is very trusted in the science world. And it's a path to residual income over time. So if it's something that you don't see yourself working as a business right now, what could happen as you casually refer people over the next 5 to 10 years? It can grow into a huge income just by doing that. And of course, there's tax advantages to your own business. All right, so I want to finish up by telling you about all the deals because there's a lot of them, but please just ask us because we can help you work it to get lots of free stuff. So first I'll mention that if you're a new customer, you've never tried Shackley before, there's so many freebies with the Prove It Challenge, free products, free shipping, lots of things. But also right now for the month of March, you get free greens. So it's an organic greens booster. It's a powder that you can put in your shakes, or some people have poured it into their muffins that they're making for their kids, or even into a soup or into a pasta. There's so many ways to work these greens. You get them for free with your first order of $200 or more. So that might be something to think about. And then from our team, if you decide to do a Prove It Challenge, and you've got some kiddos at home, we're going to gift you a free bottle of Kids Incredivites. This is the chewable multivitamin for kids. And so, this deal only goes through the end of this weekend. So it gives you some time to think, some time to talk to the person who invited you and decide if this is something you want to do. But if you're ready to do a Prove It Challenge for yourself, we're going to give you a free product for your kids to use. So, and if maybe you don't have kids that'll use the chewables, talk to the person who invited you. We'll find something fun and free to give you. So, and then we also have a Facebook group. So if you want to get an Energy Tea sample, we'll send it to you in the mail if you want to join our Facebook group. And just to learn more and stay informed, if you're not ready to make a decision yet, that's totally okay. The last thing I want to share with you is this great quote from Dr. Shackley. And he says, "Your future will be exactly what you decide to make it." And even though I don't think it can be exactly that, but being proactive now and making choices now that affect how your kids think and what your kids see you do, or the small steps you're taking today towards better health for you tomorrow and better health for your whole family tomorrow will make a world of difference. So thanks for being here. I'm going to turn off the recording and stop sharing my screen. So if you want to ask questions, you can feel free to do that and know that you are not being recorded. So